Time for a quick game. E4. The Caro-Kann defense. Let me play my favorite line against the Caro-Kann defense, where I sacrifice my light squared bishop on h7. Are we going to see something like that? Let's see. d4, knight c3, pawn takes, knight takes. So after knight f6, you always want to take back. This is kind of the data core variation, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so at this point, I'm only thinking of sacrificing my light squared bishop on h7. And here is how we achieve that. You first start with knight f3, inviting bishop g4. And then after bishop d6, you always want to play bishop d3. Don't worry about this move. In fact, I would love to see the move rook e8 check, because I do not intend to castle shot anyways. I want to put my king on f1, period. So in this case, what I do is advancing my h-pawn to h4. Let's see what my opponent is going to do. By the way, I'm playing against a 2275 rated player, question marked. Let's see what they are going to do. Sure, by this time, my opponent is thinking of... Okay, yeah, so there we see bishop g4. This is what most of my opponents do. And this is where I sacrifice my bishop on h7. This is a very great strategy, you guys. If pawn takes, you just take back with your h-pawn. This is discovery check. Next, I'm going to win that light squared bishop with tempo, in fact. I just removed that. Black should never play rook h8. I have queen e4 check. Yeah, whenever you see that move, first I have bishop e3. I can also play king f1. And now I'm thinking. I'm sure my opponent wants to play this move, but what can I do here? I think let me just stick to what I know. King f1. Oh, okay, so maybe I should have played bishop e3, then castle long. No, I think this is still bad for my opponent. I can just take right and give a check on e4. I don't even have to check with ampersand. I have queen e6 check. So I think I made an error somewhere, but I'm still surviving. Can I take with ampersand? There is king takes. Okay, so my opponent just resigned anyways. I wanted to give a check here. That was going to be mate. Let me just show you what I mean. And hey, it only takes 2 seconds to subscribe. By doing so, we are growing this community and you are telling YouTube that we like this guy. YouTube will start recommending my videos to a larger audience. I just need your love and support. That's how we are going to beat the YouTube algorithm. Let's go. Yeah, so Stockfish confirms there was a mate in 5. Just like I said before, queen e6 check was killing. So this is why my opponent resigned, because checkmate was unavoidable. They couldn't take back on g5 due to my bishop. If king h5 was played, I simply had queen takes f5. And whatever black was going to do, I had pawn to g6 discovery check. If king h4, I was going to take on f4 with check. And just a matter of time before checkmating my opponent. So this is why my opponent resigned. And I can see him analyzing with me here, trying to see where he went wrong. This is what most strong players do, or advanced players. They love learning from their mistakes. Back to the game, I think what I should have done after this sequence of moves where black played king g6 and then I took and then queen e8 check was, oh yeah, I was right. King f1 is the engine's top choice. And black played rook h8. What did I do here? Oh yeah, I played exactly like what Stockfish wanted. So I wasn't wrong after all. I thought I made a mistake with this move king f1. It's actually the engine's top choice, so I was right. I thought I was supposed to play bishop e3. So see what I'm talking about, you guys. Once again, you can rely on this opening. If queen e6, by the way, there was a mate in 4 according to Stockfish. After queen h5 check, this queen h3 check. If this, there was mate in 1, queen e4. I simply had queen d3 check, and after this I was going to mate my opponent like this. So all in all, I played a wonderful game. I don't even know why I doubted myself. Great. Let me show you another game that I had earlier this week that demonstrates how this opening should be played exactly. So after e4 and c6, still go d4, and after d5 you go knight c3. Pawn takes, knight takes. If knight f6, you always take, and after ef you go knight f3. At this point, all you're waiting for is the move bishop g4. I will show you what to do against this line, bishop f5. I mean, if black plays bishop f5 early, so they usually play bishop d6 anyways, after which you go bishop d3. After castle shot, this is where you go pawn to h4 because you intend to put your king on f1 if rook check. And this is what I did in the game that I'm analyzing right now. This guy played bishop g4 as well. This is what they all do, and then I sacrificed my bishop on f7. After king takes, I played knight g5 check, and after pawn takes, I took back with my h-pawn. This is how most games go. In this game, my opponent played queen e7. Now, you need to be very careful once you see queen e7. They want to mate you on e1. So you don't have to rush with queen h5 or queen h4, you're going to be mated. So after queen e7, the move you always want to play is bishop d2, stopping this. After this, my opponent played queen e4. Anyways, they were asking for a queen trade, but I said no, queen h5. That's what I played. And then my opponent played king f8. I played rook e1, and where is the queen going to go? I mean, there's nowhere. So this is how we trap black's queen in this Tartakov variation, Caro-Kann. Black just has to sacrifice the queen. Otherwise, moves like this will run into mate in 1. Now, one move that is quite bothering is this move, bishop f5. So after you play knight f3, instead of bishop d6, where you go bishop d3, what if black plays bishop f5 first? Well, these are moments where you want to start thinking of castling long. If you think about it, since you won't have that Greek gift sacrifice, which I just showed you. For example, you can start with bishop d3, asking for a bishop trade. And who knows, maybe black may change their mind, go bishop g4 so that you go h4 next. By the way, if bishop g4, first you can guard your c3 pawn, and after bishop d6, this is where you play h4. Not objectively the best, but you know the strategy. Again, if castle shot, just like before, you go bishop takes. Not objectively the best, but it works. After king takes, you go knight g5 check. Again, if pawn takes, you take back with your h-pawn, and after king g8, you take that bishop. Maybe black needs to find these stockfish strategies like pawn to f5 for them to maintain their advantage. Otherwise, moves like rook e8 don't work due to king f1 once again. And you have this coming. You know what to do after queen e7. You don't go queen h5. You stop that checkmate with bishop d2, and it's very difficult for black to stop you. Anyways, if black doesn't play bishop g4 once again, say in this position, after you play bishop d3, you'll see them taking, and then you take back. And your plan is very simple. Develop your bishop on any of these highlighted squares, then castle long, start expanding on the king side. After bishop f5 and bishop d3, if black doesn't want to trade, here you can even go h4 once again. Maybe they are going to trade, and that will be a sheer waste of time because you'll be ahead in development on the king side. So they play bishop d6 once again, after which you go h5. Again, if bishop takes, you take back with your queen. If knight d7, this is where you develop bishop e3. And if they castle short, you just castle long. Why not going pawn to h6 first? You don't want to close the king side completely. If pawn to h6, at least in the long run, you can even consider sacrificing. In this position, you can even go knight h4, intending to go knight f5 next. Say rook e8, knight f5. Who knows? Maybe something is going to happen on this side of the board. Knight f8, rook h4. Look at this. So I guess this won't be easy for black to defend. Queen d7, rook g4. Maybe knight e6, I don't know, but even this allows rook g4. Knight g5, pawn to f4, knight e6, knight takes with check. If king h8, you win the queen. If king f8, you have knight f5, and it's just a matter of time before you march to Zion. So that is to say, whenever you see bishop f5, just think of oversimplifying the game and castle long. This video was sponsored by all of our paid members on Patreon. These are the guys who support GothamChess financially. In return, we give them extra study materials and other premium content on Patreon to thank them in style. Not to mention that all of our patrons are at liberty to make video requests and ask any chess related questions. You can join free membership and pay later if you want through the link in the comment section down below.